Hey there, Jenn Dize here with breaking news coming out of The Intercept about the Me Too movement. Let's hop right into it because this is very, very disturbing and it has to do with the current 2020 Democratic presidential primary. The Intercept's Ryan Grimm reports, Time's Up said it could not fund a Me Too allegation against Joe Biden, citing its nonprofit status and his presidential run. Let's hop right into what Time's Up is supposed to be. Time's Up is a legal defense fund, and it was founded, one second here, it was founded or formed by 300 actresses, entertainment execs, and others against sexual misconduct. So Ashley Judd, Ava Longoria, Natalie Portman, Emma Stone, Kerry Washington, Reese Witherspoon, and more have joined Time's Up. Among the names I just read are among the 300 actresses and other powerful Hollywood figures to form Time's Up, a new coalition aimed at combating sexual harassment and misconduct in the workplace. Now, unlike ever before, our access to the media and to important decision makers has the potential of leading to real accountability and consequences, organizers wrote in an open letter. So this was in, what year was this? Yes, 2018. I was going to say it was either 2017 or 2018. So this was written January 1st, 2018. We want all survivors of sexual harassment everywhere to be heard, to be believed, and to know that accountability is possible. The struggle for women to break in, to rise up the ranks, and to simply be heard and acknowledged in male-dominated workplaces must end, organizers added. Time's up on this impenetrable monopoly. Per the New York Times, the new program will include a legal defense fund to help women, including janitors, nurses, and farm workers, protect themselves from sexual misconduct. Organizers are also looking to drive greater gender parity in Hollywood, on and on. And so, powered by women, Time's Up addresses the systemic inequality and injustice in the workplace that have kept underrepresented groups from reaching their full potential. We partner with leading advocates for equality and safety to improve laws, employment agreements, and corporate policies, help change the face of corporate boardrooms and the C-suite, and enable more women and men to access our legal system to hold wrongdoers accountable. No more silence, no more waiting, no more tolerance for discrimination, harassment, or abuse. Time's Up. So this was a piece in Rolling Stone, and this is Time's Up's own about page. Okay, so sounds like a great mission, right? A really fantastic and important mission. For way too long, women have not been able to come forward with their stories of sexual harassment and sexual assault. Finally, with the Me Too movement, women were able to do that. This fund, the Time's Up Fund for Legal Defense, was a great step in helping a lot of people do that. Why then has this new story from The Intercept come out? And let's dive right into it. Last April, Tara Reade watched as a familiar conversation around her former boss, Joe Biden, and his relationship with personal space unfolded on the national stage. Nevada politician Lucy Flores alleged that Biden had inappropriately sniffed her hair and kissed the back of her head as she waited to go on stage at a rally in 2014. Biden, in a statement in response, said that not once in his career did he believe that he had acted inappropriately. But Flores' allegation sounded accurate to Reade, she said, because Reade had experienced something similar as a staffer in Biden's Senate office years earlier. After she saw an episode of the ABC show The View, in which most of the panelists stood up for Biden and attacked Flores as politically motivated, Reade decided that she had no choice but to come forward and support Flores. She gave an interview to a local reporter, describing several instances in which Biden had behaved similarly toward her, inappropriately touching her during her early 90s tenure in his Senate office. In that first interview, she decided to tell a piece of the story, she said, that matched what had happened to Flores. Plus, she had filed a contemporaneous complaint, and there were witnesses, so she considered the allegation bulletproof. The short article brought a wave of attention on her, along with accusations that she was doing the bidding of Russian President Vladimir Putin, so Reade went quiet. As the campaign went on, Reade, who first supported Senator Elizabeth Warren and then Senator Bernie Sanders, began to reconsider staying silent. She thought about the world she wanted her daughter to live in and decided that she wanted to continue telling her story and push back against what she saw as online defamation. To get legal help and manage what she knew from her first go-round would be serious backlash, she reached out to the organization Time's Up, established in the wake of the Me Too movement to help survivors tell their stories. The Time's Up Legal Defense Fund was the recipient of an outpouring of donations over the past 2+ years and is set up as a 501c3 nonprofit housed within the National Women's Law Center. It was launched in December 2017 and was the most successful GoFundMe in the site's history, raising more than $24 million. I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, just the highlights. We will leave this link in the description. In January of this year, Reade spoke with a program director at NWLC, Ellie Driscoll, and was encouraged by the conversation. The fact that she was a Sanders supporter and had come forward previously in an incomplete fashion didn't dissuade Time's Up. Driscoll referred her to outside attorneys, Reade said, and suggested that the Time's Up Legal Defense Fund might be able to provide funding for PR and subsidize legal assistance. Let's see here. Driscoll shared with Reade the note she planned to forward to attorneys, which read in part, "She began publicly sharing the harassment she experienced in April 2019, but was attacked online, including by Richard Painter and journalist Edward Isaac Devore, for being a Russian operative. There is more to the story of harassment that she did not feel safe sharing at the time. She's looking for support in sharing her story and guidance on any possible legal action she may be able to take against online harassers." 1 second here. By February, she learned from a new conversation with Time's Up, which also involved director Sharon Tajani, that no assistance could be provided because the person she was accusing, Biden, was a candidate for federal office, and assisting a case against him could jeopardize the organization's nonprofit status. What on earth? This is so infuriating. And again, this is breaking news. This has just come out as I am reading this to you and talking about this. The fact that Time's Up had to tell Reade that she couldn't come forward using Time's Up's resources because Biden was a candidate for a federal office is absolutely disgusting. What is an organization like this supposed to stand for, if not women who have been wronged by men in power? And of course, this hasn't been litigated in court. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I'm not accusing Biden of anything. I am simply relaying what Reade has said. And what everyone says is to believe women and to support women. And Time's Up is supposed to be believing and supporting women. It sounds like that initially was the case. But as time went on, well, Reade's time was up because they told her that they could not support her. Let's keep reading. On February 11th, Driscoll wrote to Reade that she wanted to let you know that after our conversation, I talked further with our director, Sharon Tajani, about our ability to offer funding or public relations support in your case. Unfortunately, the fund's decision remains the same. Please know how much I appreciate your courage in speaking out and appreciate what you shared over the phone, that you are speaking out so that your daughter and other young people can start their careers free of harassment. They talk about when The Intercept reached out for comment, and the comment related to legal restraints. As a nonprofit 501c3 charitable organization, the National Women's Law Center is restricted in how it can spend its funds, including restrictions that pertain to candidates running for election. Our decision on whether or not to provide certain types of support to an individual should not be interpreted as our validation or doubt of the truthfulness of the person's statements. Regardless, our support of workers who come forward regarding workplace sexual harassment remains unwavering. Ruling out federal candidates marks as off-limits any members of Congress running for re-election, as well as President Donald Trump. Ellen April, a professor of tax law at Loyola Law School in Los Angeles, said that Time's Up's analysis is too conservative and that the group wouldn't be putting its tax-exempt status at risk by taking a case involving a candidate for federal office as long as it followed its standard criteria for taking on cases. So, as for influencing the election, Reade said she was deeply conflicted about continuing to come forward, given that Biden's opponent in the general election is someone she sees as far worse politically. I don't want to help Trump, but what can I do? She said. All I can do is stand on my truth. And this is a picture of Tara Reade right here. I am just absolutely disgusted by this. This organization needs to do better. Even if the organization the organization itself couldn't support Reade, then some of its members should have. Some of its members should have helped her. They have platforms. They have voices. They have an audience. Why did no one help her? This is just another example of organizations that purport to do good getting caught up in fighting real people in support of the establishment. And that's what this really is. This got to a higher level, this got to legal, this got to whoever, and they shut it down. We will stay on this. We will keep our eye on the news for this. We will do everything we can to bring you the news on Reade's not case, but Reade's story, and listen to her as someone who has an allegation against Joe Biden. And I can't express enough how disgusted I am that Time's Up did not support her. It's just absolutely disgusting. And there's no reason for it. They could have done so much more, and they didn't. So who are they really helping? This has been Jenn Dize, and I will update you with more news on this soon. Bye-bye.